Good evening, Mike. I'm here on Oaklawn Avenue where several homes were flooded. Let me show you how bad the damage is out here. Take a look at this driveway where you can see the water created a huge sinkhole. It swallowed one homeowner's patio and nearly ate another homeowner's car. Now, for some, the repair work is underway. For others, it's hardly begun. Officials estimate Hurricane Sandy cost the village around $2 million in damage and repairs. That includes removing around 10,000 tons of debris, fixing roads and parks, and making enhancements to this marina like these power pedestals that are now removable. According to officials, it's a lot more difficult than you would think to install a car seat properly. That's because there's so many different makes and models of vehicles, so many different makes and models of car seats, and there's something also called a latch system versus a seatbelt system. The shark, which is named Mary Lee, is 3,500 pounds. Last week, she was spotted off the coast of New Jersey and is now somewhere out here in the waters off of Jones Beach. It costs up to $9,000 per student per year to attend the Morgan Center. Tuition is free for every family thanks to private donations and fundraising. Good evening, Mike and Krista. I am live on Granny Avenue near Sachem East High School. Some of the activities on the scavenger hunt list included things like drive 100 miles per hour, run a red light, steal a street sign, or a mailbox like the one you see here. Each of these guide dogs costs $50,000 to raise and train, and the organization provides them free of charge to people in need. They do this through donations, and if you'd like to help, go to our FiOS1 News Long Island Facebook page. In Bohemia, Sheri Richardson, FiOS1 News. That is what Pastor Sally Lloyd of New Hope Institutional Baptist Church heard when she was checking her voice messages this past Wednesday.
I was shocked. I was, like, excuse me, I couldn't believe it. I just never have heard this before in my life. Never heard about anyone talk like that. So I was very scared, and especially for my parishioners because of what had happened down south.
She is referring to the massacre at a black church in Charleston, South Carolina, where a gunman killed 9 people on June 17th. Die! Hearing this, she immediately called 911. Following an investigation, police arrested 66-year-old Elisa Polino of Farmingdale and charged her with second-degree aggravated harassment as a hate crime. Pastor Lloyd and church members with whom I spoke say they don't know Elisa Polino. Even so, they do have a message for her.
You shouldn't harass or talk about people based on their color or culture. You have to be, everybody's a human and should be treated equal.
I'm a child of God. We have to love the perpetrator and forgive her.
You can't live your life like that. You can't do those things because it doesn't, that's not pleasing in the eyesight of God. It's not.
It didn't hurt my heart, but I felt bad for her because I realized if you have hate in your heart, it can make you sick. It could cause you to get in trouble. I want the state to make sure she get help. I really do.
Pastor Lloyd said detectives told her Polino found the church by searching the internet. Polino has pleaded not guilty. In Amityville, Sheri Richardson, FiOS1 News.
But first, we begin with our Sheri Richardson with more on the child whose results have come back negative tonight.
The 5-year-old and his family just returned to New York from Guinea. Sunday night, he was taken to the hospital by specially trained hazmat units wearing protective gear. The child did not have a fever at the time, but he came down with one Monday morning. Health officials decided to test him for Ebola because of his recent travel to Guinea and his pattern of symptoms.
The child at first did not appear to have any symptoms. The mother has no symptoms whatsoever. So a lot of caution is being taken here.
The mayor says everything has been handled according to protocol.
We are taking additional precautions, for example, tracing the steps of the family as a precaution.
But in the Soundview neighborhood in the Bronx, where the child lives, people are on edge.
I have a lot of other parents that are not going to send their children tomorrow. I'm not even sending my daughter tomorrow. She's staying home.
And that's even knowing that the boy hasn't been in school since he's been back.
But now that it's at home, this is a neighborhood with a growing African community. We want to be cautious and informative about what the steps are, whether the results are positive or negative. We want to know what that means for the neighborhood.
Officials with the city health department are canvassing the area, handing out flyers in an effort to educate the public.
But we also want to minimize not just the panic, but also we're concerned about the perception and the threats to our growing African communities. We don't want anybody to be mistreated. We don't want anybody to be bullied.
Health officials say the chances of the average New Yorker getting Ebola are extremely slim. For more information on Ebola, there will be a town hall discussion this coming Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Bronx Museum for the Arts. Reporting outside of Bellevue Hospital in Manhattan, Sheri Richardson, FiOS1 News. It was an emotional morning at St. Martha's Catholic Church as one by one the 5 caskets carrying 37-year-old Miriam LeBrun, her mother, 68-year-old Yolanda Moyce, and her 3 children, 14-year-old Marquise, 9-year-old Marcel, and 8-year-old Kayla, were taken inside.
I live across the street, and to see 5 caskets, come on. Children, people full of lives. You just have to say this is what God wanted.
Adelaide Robert didn't know the family, but she came to show her support.
It is so heart-wrenching. It's nothing you can say to the family except show your support and your love, and it's unbearable. You feel like your gut is wrenching. You feel like your heart is pulling out the chest, and you have so much to deal with. You don't know. You just have to pray for the family.
The family was killed 2 weeks ago in a single car accident on the Southern State Parkway in North Babylon. They were heading home to Brooklyn after spending the day with family in Brentwood. LeBrun was behind the wheel of her 1998 Honda Accord when for some reason she ran off the road, slammed into a tree, the car bursting into flames. At the church, there were lots of tears. Some cried out. Others fell to their knees.
It's a great shock to everyone, basically, but especially to the Haitian community since they are Haitian. And it was a very young person, actually, that passed with 3 children and her mother. So we're here basically to express our condolences to the family and to show them our support, the community support.
Family members want answers as to what caused LeBrun to crash. The investigation is ongoing, and they realize those answers may never come. In Uniondale, Sheri Richardson, FiOS1 News. 32-year-old Joe Varelli of Valley Stream is fighting for his life. A year ago, his girlfriend of 4 years encouraged him to have a mole on his collarbone looked at. Turns out it was cancerous, but after having it removed along with the tumor and lymph node, they thought he was in the clear. They were wrong. Just this past December,
Joseph was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic melanoma. So at that point, we were absolutely devastated.
And when they thought things couldn't get any worse, Joe's health insurance provider, Emblem Health, denied him coverage for a potentially life-saving treatment.
Once they told me that they weren't going to pay for it, I was just, it was like a dream.
Actually, more of a nightmare.
What's the point of having insurance if you can't even get the treatment that can save your life?
The issue is that the treatment is part of a clinical trial through Sloan Kettering. The drugs Joe will receive are both FDA approved, but together they are not.
They paid for me to let me know that I have cancer, but then they won't pay for the treatments that are what can save me.
The treatment costs $240,000. Sloan Kettering will pay for half, but without health coverage, Joe can't afford the other half. So his girlfriend decided to set up a GoFundMe page. The results, they say, are amazing. In less than 3 days, they've raised nearly $90,000, with more money coming in.
Seeing all the people that are donating, I cry because of how much people care.
As he reads one post that he finds touching,
if you have many angels with you over you, especially Megan, stay strong. Just right now, literally 5 minutes ago, someone anonymous donated $5,000.
Oh my God.
They say half of the donors are anonymous.
I kind of understand why they're saying anonymous. I wish they didn't so I can thank them.
It's incredible, it's heartwarming, and I can't thank everybody enough.
FiOS1 News reached out to Emblem Health for comment and have not heard back. In Valley Stream, Sheri Richardson, FiOS1 News.
How's it going, Dominic? I heard you wanted to be a Navy SEAL. Do you happen to know who I am?
What's your best guess? Staff Sergeant Talley?
Yes, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you.
10-year-old Dominic Pastori kept his cool, but admits he was blown away when Air Force Sergeant Zachary Talley paid him and his classmates a surprise visit here at Maplewood Intermediate School in Huntington Station.
I was really surprised, super nervous.
Nervous as he gave a PowerPoint presentation that he created on the Navy SEALs, which he aspires to one day join.
Because they work real hard to protect their country.
Sergeant Talley just returned from a tour of duty in the Middle East a few days ago and wanted to meet Dominic and these students face to face since they've been pen pals for the last several months.
You expect your mom and your dad and people like that to say, you know, hey, I appreciate you. But when you see someone else who they don't know you, say, hey, you know, we really appreciate what you're doing. We love you. Thank you. It's nice to be able to return the appreciation.
Being pen pals was both educational and inspirational.
I really like to try and teach my kids real life skills that they can use here and now and then also as an adult. So having a letter writing campaign really encourages them to have meaning for their writing.
This letter writing campaign was extra special for Dominic and his family. Through writing these letters, they learned that they share more than a love for the military. You see, Dominic's sister was recently diagnosed with leukemia. When Sergeant Talley was a kid, his sister battled cancer as well.
I know kind of what it's like to be a part of a family that's going through that. So that's where our connection really came from.
Sergeant Talley presented Dominic with an American flag flown into combat over Iraq in his honor, along with a certificate signed by the U.S. B-1 bomber flight team. In Huntington Station, Sheri Richardson, FiOS1 News. English translation: I want to be loved. Please take me home. The North Shore Animal League of America is providing holiday cheer by sponsoring free animal adoption events this weekend.
Over the last week, North Shore Animal League America has been able to rescue over 200 animals, not only nationally but internationally. We're able to bring them back here where we know we can find them a loving home.
Families looking to adopt lined up outside the shelter in Port Washington. 4-year-old Ruben knows exactly what he wants.
A puppy. He's been hinting here and there, but another day we went to a puppy shop, but we would actually have to buy it. So I said, I'd rather come and adopt.
There are dogs and cats of all breeds and ages available. It didn't take long for 10-year-old Crystal to find her new best friend. This is her first dog, and she says she's ready for the responsibility.
I would buy him food. I would give him a place to stay. I would love him a lot.
Crystal's been bugging me for a puppy since she was 2 years old, and we finally broke down.
And he already has a name.
Ricky.
Ricky. Why'd you choose Ricky?
Because he looked like he was a Ricky, so.
Now, shelter directors say if you're thinking about giving a pet as a present, like this little girl, there's a wrong way and a right way. Surprising someone with a puppy or kitten is definitely how not to do it.
You want to have a conversation with that person, find out exactly what type of pet they're looking for, if the time is right for that pet, and then come on down to the shelter with them. Be there to help them pick out their pet, because it's a 15-year commitment and they have to make sure they have that special bond with the pet.
It's also a financial commitment. It can cost nearly $1,000 a year for food and checkups with a veterinarian. But this couple says it will be well worth it. Their faces show what a joy these four-legged furry friends can bring their new owners. If you missed Saturday's event, no worries. There will be another one on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. In Port Washington, Sheri Richardson, FiOS1 News.